Welcome, fellow Earth travelers, to Astrology Roadshow's third episode, a personal message from planet Eris as we evolve into the Aquarian Age, focusing on the dynamics of Libra and Aries. An astrological awakening is dawning during 2020, along with a full launch into the Age of Aquarius. Please be sure to subscribe so you will not miss out on upcoming episodes that will be providing valuable insight as we navigate these times. Your likes, shares, and visits to Astrology Roadshow's website and Facebook page are much appreciated. Eris is the outermost planet in our solar system, recently discovered in 2005, along with several more minor planets. This discovery just 15 years ago puts together yet another piece to the astrological puzzle that is our solar system. The planets are not merely a set of orbiting entities in outer space. That would be a very shallow conclusion indeed, and flies in the face of so much spiritual insight and patterns that are providing obvious and astounding revelations. As we evolve and go through the ages, the symbolic evidence human beings have gathered begins to make even more sense, revealing a wisdom to those here on Earth so we can build comprehension. Groundwork has continually been built as each planet has been discovered, and the evidence for astrological sign assignment has become more clear. The original rulerships are beginning attempts to understand patterns revealed by the planets and signs, but they have matured with even better definition as we discover, understand, and evolve. There are two signs that remain doubled up within original rulership placements, and those two are Libra and Virgo, sharing the planets of Venus and Mercury with Taurus and Gemini, respectively. The behavior of Eris is leading to a more and more agreeable conclusion among astrologers that there are indeed tendencies, indications, and historical evidence suggesting strongly it is the modern ruler of Libra, and we will explain a bit why that is and the important role of this planet and sign as exemplified personally and collectively during our lifetime. But what about Virgo? Is there another planet in our remote solar system yet to be discovered for assignment there? Or could the answer lie closer to home? Well, we will leave that consideration for another episode. There is much food for thought, to be sure. For now, it is important to give our time and attention to understanding the function of Eris astrologically and how this affects and assists us as it translates to all things Libra and as we navigate going forward. As we should all probably understand by now, everything happens for a reason, and so it happens this planet has entered onto our radar because we are now ready for more awareness and understanding. The choice of the name Eris is also very interesting and no mere coincidence. This is a female name and a Greek mythological character and goddess of strife and discord. She operates to create chaos, especially if she is feeling left out or otherwise misunderstood, as this works to teach her offenders a much-needed lesson. The story has Eris as a female version or sister of Mars, ruler of Aries, which happens to be Libra's polar opposite sign on the zodiac wheel. The mythological character lends itself to understanding the complications and symbolic journey and meaning of this planet. She is a character that upsets the apple cart when needed, but one has to look more deeply into the reasoning for that. The Disney character Maleficent is known to be based on Eris. The desire of that character is ignited after she is being purposefully excluded from events she knows is rightfully where she should be included. She works to create awareness and correct a situation in order to have peace and achieve higher relationship harmony. Her methods are unorthodox, but ultimately effective. Maleficent is very much about achieving higher love, but also has a temper which comes out after she has finally realized she has reached her limit and feels she cannot get her point across any other way. Very reminiscent of a true Libran personality. The Libran native is happiest looking for and creating equality, fairness, harmony, and love in social relationships, and to create balance. So the crux for any Libran is to constantly work to maintain harmony with regard to partnerships or purposely create discord so the satisfying work of maintaining that balance can again get underway. This is their great desire and need, and therein lies the similarity and purpose of Eris along with Libra in all their endeavors. The symbol of this sign is the perpetual balancing of weights on either arm of a scale. Of interest, this outermost planet has the most elliptical orbit as well as exaggerated orbital incline of the other planets. The incline reaches well below and then also above the even plane of most all the other planets in our solar system. She is the solar system and zodiac's female maverick on an eternal search for social inclusion and balance within her relationships. Her own sense of identity depends on it.
Eris is beginning to make appearances and launch within our culture as well as our psyche. The sign she rules is being affected also, which fleshes out her identity in our consciousness. There is a new digital currency coming into play, which will work further to bring this to the forefront. Facebook has launched Libra as a global currency and financial infrastructure. Money is used as a representation of what we value, and this harkens to the original ruler of Libra, Venus. However, with Eris, a higher octave is at work because there is also a need for finely tuned discernment of the relationship between value and worth. And that is where the unique talents of Libra comes in, to help achieve that exact balance. The new currency will suggest the need for many social relationships to exist for barter and exchange to effectively take place within society. Facebook is ushering in a new era in cashless system to get the job done more expediently than before. The name Libra is derived from Roman measurement of weight. This is again symbolic of the Libran scale symbol. As ruler of Libra, Eris's outermost positioning and lengthy transit works to explain why Libran personalities may sometimes be a bit indecisive with regard to their methods or approach. It also helps to understand how this air sign is intellectual and thoughtful and may suffer from a bit of analysis paralysis. Decision-making, action, and change does eventually occur for mentally active Libra, usually after much careful deliberation or when other aspects force the matter at hand. The Libra native will eventually learn this about themselves and adjust. The position of this planet at the far outer reaches of our solar system makes for a very long orbital journey around our sun. It takes 557 years, and that is more than twice the time of Pluto's full orbit. This very time-consuming journey is why we know she works best with messaging for the collective over the ages. However, that said, the interpersonal planets work to carry out those messages. As explained in episode 2, they often make aspects with outer planets because they complete their orbits more often. There is also always a planetary message for the individual directly from each outer planet. Eris will come very much to life with the strongest possible message as her slow journey through Aries affects a natal birth chart. This is more lengthy than any other planet's transit because Eris has a longer journey through the constellations and zodiac. In our lifetimes, we are fortunate to witness her effects on us. We are also very much directly benefiting from Eris's personal messaging because since the 1920s, Eris has been in constellation Aries. This is the most direct and personal sign in the zodiac and symbolizes individual initiative. Eris remains here until 2050. For many of us, that would be our entire lifetime. This makes it easier to see what area of our natal blueprint is very slowly being absolutely changed up from her lengthy transit. It is why, since her entrance into this sign and through the decades, we have witnessed the effects of having evolved to become a me global society that highlights individual achievements and social recognition from others. This is influence experienced by relationship-oriented Eris within the house of self-motivated Aries.
As mentioned in episode 2, the placement of your house of Aries within your chart has another important role these final months of 2020 because Mars is there on a mission in its home sign for the entire second half of this year. And Eris's location here will also further enhance that visit because Mars and Eris conjunct several times due to Mars's retrograde movements forward then back and forth. Eris's ruling house of Libra is directly opposite that Aries placement. So that house is also constantly being affected by this opposing aspect to home base. All natal planets located in either of these two polar house areas of Libra and Aries would be helping to affect ongoing change by the opposition or conjuncting of their aspect with Eris over many years. All other aspects that natal planets make, which square, trine, or sextile transiting Eris, will of course also be lengthy and also affect those Libran and Aries houses. And by lengthy, we do mean ongoing, constant, never-ending, really dragged out, forever evolving, etc., etc. Eris's transit through natal Aries is a lifelong commitment. There is no other way to look at it. Natal charts usually have signs overlapping into two houses, so those Aries and Libra house areas in our charts are directly being affected. And again, it is very personal as it affects our will and drive for action and self-preservation through relationship balance, all relative to those house areas. Right now, Eris is located at 24 degrees Aries. This positioning has been in square with the outer planetary forces that are conjuncting together near that same degree mark of Capricorn. Both Eris and Mars make this 90-degree square with that planetary stellium, which includes Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. All are making their stations near this degree during 2020, as explained in episodes 1 and 2. A squaring aspect will bring tension and ultimately resolve issues which all those planets are bringing to bear in their respective ways as we enter the Aquarian Age. Since Eris is a planet for the collective and ruler of an air sign, her location here within the personal house of Aries will work to eventually trigger thought processes, to have us intellectually understand the implications of 2020 and the major important changes underway much more clearly, both personally and for the collective.
With regard to personal awareness, we have to really own our own story there and the individual evolution underway. It is direct messaging and important as it is very much tied to our success in this new age. Take a look at the following diagram to determine location degree of Aries for Eris on your natal chart at your date of birth. This was the beginning of her journey with you through present day, which is at 24 degrees Aries and so on. As the transit continued during her journey, what natal planets are on her path? What other natal planets are making aspects? The dates showing degrees for Eris are useful to know if you have planets at those degrees because they are trigger points during your lifetime. Those planets and their intentions will assist to change your sense of self and relationships in the areas defined by your Aries and Libra house placements. The natural setup of zodiac houses has Aries and Libra ruling our identity and relationships. These significators are no doubt what is being slowly transformed in an overall sense and where lessons of balance and fairness are being learned. Keywords of your natal house placements for these signs will show the area of application and evolution where Eris is working in your lifetime relative to your identity and relationships. Look to the house of Aries as the tool to get the job done, and to Libra for what is ultimately the area evolving because of this whole transit process. The mirror of Aries to Libra is just that, a reflectionship, learning more about the self in those areas through others. It is all about the relationship journey with Eris. If you would like a natal chart and brief analysis, please email us at ars@astrologyroadshow.com. I think we can all agree that it is futile to fight the forces at work in 2020. Astrology provides the tools to best navigate. We need to work constructively for our own well-being and betterment. Meanwhile, the ultimate message from Eris is helping us to embrace what we learned from our relationships. Going forward, we would do good to be aware and expect some discord in that area of Libra and Aries after the 24-degree mark. If we work to be aware and use the knowledge constructively, it will benefit us greatly. It may be an uncomfortable and lengthy process, but our own evolution will eventually be born from that. The astrology of Eris is built upon what we already understand as to how our planetary solar system works, and it is indeed a puzzle piece that we need in order to evolve further and especially to raise consciousness. The Aquarian Age is going to require that of each of us. We are just beginning to learn about Eris and gain more awareness, but it's just in time. She is on board during this planetary mission beginning in 2020, along with the other planets, and here to help us navigate these times and go forward to a brave new age. Thanks again for tuning in. Please be sure to watch our next episode as we look at various astrological highlights that play into the USA 2020 presidential election. You won't want to miss that.